Good morning, everyone. We will begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama for protection and the permission to participate today in the divine plan of constructing a paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito, Prayer of Heaven, followed by the Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Taka ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no gimuka no tachi hana no. Odo no ahagi harani. Misogi harai tamo utoki ni narimaseru. Araido no o kamitachi, moro moro no magakoto tsumi kegare o. Arai tamae kiyome tamae tomao sukoto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami ya oyorozu no kami tachi tomoni. Ame no fuchiko mano mimi furita tete. Hikoshi meseto kashiko mi mumaosu. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Miroku o mikami. Mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami, mamori tamae saki hae tamae. Kam nagara tamachi hae mase. Kam nagara tamachi hae mase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truths given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei. May God and Meishu-sama bless you. Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. A way to live. Priceless are those who always think of the welfare of others and pray for all the world. Those who forget their own interests and uphold what is right and just are the strongest, bravest people in the world. Narrow minded are those who boast and make a great show of their merits and achievements. Since my early years, I have loved to make others happy, so much so that it has become almost my favorite pastime. My thoughts are always centered on how I can help others to become truly happy. I believe one of the things that helps me most in being able to enjoy the happiness I feel today is this mental attitude. For this reason, I continue to say and write, unless we make others happy, we ourselves can never become truly happy. I am sure that the greatest goal of our mission, the realization of paradise on earth, can be attained when this way of thinking has spread and is shared by all the people on earth. Thank you very much for attending this morning service and praying together with us for world peace. Pray for our ancestors, for our family, for our loved ones, so that we can have a paradise on this earth. We always share those beautiful faith experiences, and today I would like to share with you another one that was already shared with Romaco Negrão. And the faith experience today is a beautiful experience about Ikebana flower arranging. It's from Alceu Valdir Shows from Curitiba, Brazil. And Alceu, he's a lawyer and lives in the city of Curitiba in Brazil. Years ago, he had so many problems that anyone would be shocked. A friend, seeing his situation, invited him to a place where he would surely receive valuable help. He accepted and both went to the Johrei Center. Getting there, they gave Alceu explanations about Johrei and our doctrine. Then he received the Johrei, feeling calm and peaceful. Upon leaving, his friend told him, if you could come and receive Johrei for 30 days in a row, the effect would undoubtedly be better. At that moment, he challenged himself. Instead of going 30 days, he would do it for 90 days. So it was enduring those 3 months of daily receiving of Johrei, through reading the teachings of Meishu-sama and talking to the ministers and members, that he got to know our church better. At the end of this allotted time, since he felt better, he decided to become a Johrei member. Struck by the beauty of flower arrangements that decorated the church, he became interested in the Ikebana Sangetsu course, and he has already studied this art for 4 years. Over time, he learned to understand the meaning of Ikebana, the movement of the branches, etc. He realized how much positive influence flowers exert on people and environments, and he became even more enthusiastic about this art. Now he goes around with scissors in his pocket, and his car is filled with various tools. He has vases everywhere, in the office and at friends' houses. He never misses the opportunity to collect branches and leaves, which he always tries to utilize according to the rules of Zangetsu school. Indeed, Contact with flowers made him more sensitive, thoughtful, calm, confident, and understanding with himself and with others. Both Johrei as well as Ikebana Sangetsu have changed his attitudes towards life. Having said that, he will share with us about an episode he experienced. At the end of a certain year, the Sangetsu instructor invited the students to offer Ikebana to those they were in need, and that was how he had a great experience that falls. An entrepreneur, his client for some years, had developed a project for which he needed a loan that could only be obtained with a guarantee of a real estate property. To help him, his parents mortgaged properties of great value, but the business failed and all their properties were put up for auction. His family fortune, which consisted of more than $20 million, went down the drain. He had to answer in dozens of trials, suffered all kinds of humiliation and pressure. Believed by the family as the sole culprit, it is not difficult to imagine what he went through in that period. One day, Alceu received a phone call uh, from his wife. She told him that his client was sick, hit by an unknown virus. His muscles no longer obeyed commands and forced him to stay still. He was dependent on others for everything, and this caused him an enormous depression. Alceu went to see him in an old apartment, full of suffering, pain, bitterness, and resentment in a semi-dark room. He found a man suffering and sad. Alceu chose a vase that he had in his office, bought some red and white carnations and other branches with which he composed an ikebana. He put it in that arrangement much love and gratitude to God and Meishu-sama for the opportunity that he had been given to be able to give service to that friend. When he entered the semi-dark room carrying the ikebana, his friend asked him, surprised, "What is this?" After hearing Alceu's explanations, his friend asked again, "And why are you doing this?" And he replied, "Because I love you, and I believe that an ikebana can help you." "I don't believe in these things," the man said. That was his bitter comment. No swayed by those words, Alceu told him that he would be back next day with yet another ikebana. The next day, his wife called him enthusiastically, telling Alceu that her husband had been staring at the flowers for a long time, wondering, why did he do this? My family didn't behave like that. But why did he offer that? If after all, he's just my lawyer. Then he wept convulsively for a long time and fell sound asleep. When he awoke, he asked for some food. Although he still did not understand the reason for Alceu's gesture, he was very happy and was already beginning to move in bed. The Ikebana had fulfilled its mission because reflecting on its meaning, his friend began to react. While that suffering man looked at the arrangement, the strength of the red carnations that represented vigor, health, life, and blood boosted his vital energy. The white carnations, on the other hand, brought him the calmness and serenity he needed to fight the virus. As he looked at the main lines, which were vertical, and the firmness of his character was strengthened, and the magic of Ikebana Sangetsu became present. The next day, Alceu composed another Ikebana with a different goal. He used some anthuriums with curved branches in a precious antique crystal vase. The beauty of his whole creation was projected into the room, and anyone who entered appreciated it. It was then that his friend, attracted by the beauty of Ikebana, felt like walking alone and came to admire it up close. His friend's wife and children were amazed at what had happened because he had never behaved in that way since he got sick. Today, he can say that he is another person. Alceu is sure that the beginning of this transformation is due to the Ikebana Sangetsu made with love and affection. He often visits them to give them Johrei and always carry an Ikebana with him as a sincere tribute to beauty and life. With this beautiful experience, I'd like to thank you all very much for attending this morning service and reminding you that this coming Sunday, 11 a.m., we will have our appreciation service and our ancestral service. This brings to a conclusion our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we wish you a very blessed day. Thank you.